Hello there everybody, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays. As you can see, we are back in Grounded, the miniaturized world here of Grounded, and we have basic objective at the moment, cut down some clover and make a shelter. So objectives for today are quite clear. We have got to first make it through the night, and then we have to go and explore the explosion that happened last time. So let me just pick up some clover leaves here. Now for now it's not going to be that big a deal where we set up our camp, so we might as well just put it up in this basic environment. So we're just going to go to craft again and set up a lean-to. This is just a little place for us to sleep and to also set our respawn point, because when we inevitably die, we will be respawning here. So we just set our respawn point and voila. If we were to die now, at least we will respawn here. It's not game over for us, which is nice. I have quite a lot of stuff in my backpack that I do need to analyze. So I'm just going to quickly run back to the science center here and just quickly analyze 3 of those things. So this is one of the advantages of sitting up next to the mysterious machine there. You have access to this little machine over here, the resource analyzer, quite easily. Now, unfortunately, the wolf spider, we're going to encounter the wolf spider as we go along. We may even encounter it today. We'll see. They do come past this area where we currently are, which is not good. We don't want to encounter the wolf spider while we are at our low level. If we look at us, we don't even have any armor on. So we are going to hopefully quickly craft some armor. Very, very basic armor. But then we are going to hopefully at least have a little bit more survivability. Now also, while I'm here, and we have got this little ant here, last time the ant ran away. This time it died because we had a spear. Okay, so we are going to craft some ant armor for us later as well. Now we have got, as jumped over here, I did see this little machine over here, this little recording. Might as well read that or listen to that while I am quickly setting up a fireplace for us.
I was a fool to have ever doubted myself. A fool like Klein, like Kaminsky, like Schmechter, like all of Ominent. I am here in the backyard. Down in the backyard. I mean, I am speaking to you from the backyard. I am tiny! I should gather my thoughts. This is a momentous occasion. Wendell Tolley official log 89.08.05. Recording as I take my first steps into the miniature world. The sights are unbelievable. The textures, the way the light falls upon every surface, the subtle patterns in all of the objects that surround me, the grass. Even common lawn grass looks like a structure from an alien world. Wait, what's that sound? The very earth is trembling. Over there, what could it be? An ant! Today, the world has changed forever.
I must say, I think his reaction is pretty much exactly the reaction I would also have had if I were to be shrunk down to this size. I mean, this is a whole new world, definitely. Now, we need a few things to also just quickly continue here. We need a workbench. That is going to also just be useful for us to be able to craft some armor, and I'm not caring too much about the fact that it is skew. So this first part of the game really is just finding a little spot to quickly settle. You're a little bit nomadic at the start while you are finding a perfect spot to settle. Don't just rush in and build one massive base, because you are going to have to know where to set up your base to really do well in this game. So let's have a look. We want to make some clover armor for now. We need a clover hood, a clover poncho, and clover shin guards. And for these things we need quite a lot of rope, which we can make a few but not enough. So we need to collect more plant fiber, and we also need to collect more clover leaves. So I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, so it is now 10 o'clock in the game here, and we have got our little camp set up here. I also have put a storage basket down below here so that we can easily store things like the thistle needles, which we're going to use for arrows, and the gnat fuzz, or the mite fuzz and the gnat fuzz over here. things that we don't immediately need, I can put down here. So we're going to make the hood, the poncho, and then the shin guards. And that's going to at least be some armor for us. Of course, we do need to equip it. So we're just going to equip, and equip. Okay, so now each of the armor sets, if you have the complete armor set on, will give you some advantage. And in this case, we're wearing light armor, so this means that we don't need as much stamina or energy to swing our weapons, so that's, benefit. But then also we have the fuller buff here, which allows us to stay full for longer. So in other words, our hunger will drain more slowly, which is a nice benefit when you are starting out. But as we go along, we're going to move more towards medium/heavy armor, and we're going to lose this benefit as we switch over to a different armor set. We also have the moist buff here, which means we retain water well. In other words, our water and our hunger is going to drain more slowly, which is a nice benefit. Our objective at the moment is sleep through the night at our lean-to. So we may as well just sleep through the night. Sleep 8 hours. That's amazing. 8 hours worth of sleep. Oh my word. Don't know when last I had 8 hours worth of sleep. So you can still see the explosion there by the oak tree. That is going to be our objective now. Now, of course, we need to eat something. So might as well just grab this piece of meat. Put 2 new weevil meats on there. And kill another ant. Because we need to get ant armor. So 5 quick pokes with our spear gives us a dead ant. Okay, now let's have a look. We've got our little camp set up, which is great. We've got some armor on. We need water, and there is a water droplet suspended from the grass. Easiest way to get that, you can throw a pebble up, or you can stab it and then get the water droplet when it drops, but before it goes into a puddle like that. There should be another one here. There's another one there, right above our campfire. Poke it, get the water drop to drop, and drink it. Now our thirst level is full. I could hear a gnat. There's a gnat up there. Now I want to kill the gnat there. There we go. Great stuff. Okay. I even scanned the gnat previously. I did not. Now a gnat is basically a little fly. Now they are quite varied. They just call it a gnat, but there are so many different types of gnats that many of them don't even look like this. But the gnats belong to the order Diptera, meaning two-winged. Now with insects, a lot of them have got the word terra in their name, like Diptera, for example. Di meaning two, and terra, whenever you see the word terra, that means wing. And you don't pronounce the P, because like when you wake up at 3 in the morning and you don't want to wake up the rest of the house, the P is silent, so you just call it terra. And in this case, when it's combined with di, it's Diptera. So Diptera just meaning two wings. And that's because most insects will have 2 sets of wings. So too the Diptera. They have got the 2 sets of wings. I'm just trying to discover this juice box over here. But with Diptera, with the normal flies, the true flies, what they have is a very much reduced hind wings. In other words, their front wings are large and typically, typical wings, and then their hind wings are tiny little steering organs, very much reduced, but they do use that in order to steer. So it's still functional, it just doesn't really it's not used to power them in flight. So there's something big moving in the grasses there. Always good. Oh, it's a ladybug. Okay. Always good to use your hands like this you press X to use the peeper, which is basically the version of the binoculars in this game. Just put your hands together and voila. You can now see a little bit further. And there is an achievement also if you are, achievement hunting. There is an achievement for peeping every single invertebrate in the game. So pressing X for binocular mode, and then left clicking to find it or to identify it. Okay, so this is a larva. Now larvae like this, there are actually quite a few species of invertebrates. Hey, you bit me, you little bugger. Quite a few species of invertebrates that have larvae like this. This is most likely a lacewing larvae. Now, lacewings are not in the game. Not that I know of, and not yet at least. But the adults will be flying around. They are predatory insects. So the adults fly around eating all kinds of insects like mosquitoes, like aphids, like all kinds of things. Though this would possibly not be a lacewing larvae. Lacewings, their larvae look very much like this, with the massive jaws in front. But then they also... There's another one there, so we're going to have a look at him again. Come on, little one. I'm going to punch you. Hello. Come for me. Ah, block. You have to time it perfectly. And then you get a perfect block and stun them for a second. Which gives you a bit of... Oof. I did not time that perfectly. But if you block it perfectly, you get a little moment. Oh, there's another one. Come here. Come here. You get a moment where they are a little bit stunned, and it doesn't cost you energy or health to block them like that. You see those little yellow sparkles? That means you timed the block perfectly. So the fighting combat... Another one. Yeesh. Okay. So the combat mechanics in this game are relatively easy to understand, but you have to know how to block perfectly. And once you do that, you're able to take on 3 or 4 larvae. There are 4 larvae, so there are 3 corpses lying around, and 1 which we already harvested previously. So 4 larvae and take a little bit of damage, partly because I also wanted to take a screenshot while I was under attack. So, I interrupted my block to take a screenshot there, a little photo. But yeah, so you've got to learn how to block perfectly, and once you do, combat becomes a little bit simpler, and you're able to take on far larger foes a little bit more easily. But you also have to get used to each individual invertebrate's attack pattern. But as I was saying, the larvae of lacewings are actually quite amazing. They look very much like that, but if they, for example, have eaten an aphid, they will very often, many of the species, will carry the carcass of their previous meals on their backs, partly as armor, partly as camouflage, and they are quite hardcore. And these are the babies. I mean, these are the young ones of the lacewings. So they're going to grow up and become predatory insects as well. But the babies are pretty hardcore and are wearing the bodies of their victims on their backs, which, yeah, it's quite interesting. So, we are now at the base of the oak tree. Now, we're not going to just go down there. Under the tree here, spoiler alert, there are massive wolf spiders. And I'm going to, while I'm wearing clover armor, until I've got ladybug armor, I'm going to try and not attack or be attacked by wolf spiders. I'm going to try and stay out of the way. Look there. If you are squeamish or scared of wolves, of spiders overall, yeah, this is bad. There's also an orb weaver spider over there as well. Now, orb weavers would actually be web dwellers. They wouldn't be free roaming like the wolf spiders are. Wolf spiders don't have their nests or webs. Instead, they are free roaming. But the orb weavers will form webs. And there's an orb weaver there as well. Okay, but that is where we are going to end today's little session, everybody. Join me again next time as we go and investigate the lab, which is right over there. We'll probably be taking on the orb weaver spiders. So until next time, stay safe. I will see you all soon.